Hey everybody, it's Mickey, and in today's video I'm sharing with you my 12 pantry essentials. You know, our pantries are just as important today as they ever were, and whether you have a large pantry or a small one, these are my recommendations for the 12 essentials you want to stock up on. Currently, future food availability and prices are uncertain, and stocking up on those items that you use the most is becoming more important. I've been telling my own children to have a goal of creating a 30-day supply of what you use the most. You don't need a lot of space for this. It can easily be done in a large bin from Target or even one of those under-the-bed storage boxes. The idea is just to have a backup of easy-to-put-together meals in case you need them. Our food storage room is in our lower level of our home, and within these cabinets is the majority of my stockpile of food. I have pantries in the kitchen that hold quantities that are just, easier to use day to day, but this is where I keep my backup food supply. I am not a prepper by any means, but I think that the pandemic has educated all of us with the need to be prepared for any surprises to our daily routines. The 12 essentials that I'm going to share with you today are really categories of food items that if you have on hand, you can make a multitude of different meals and staples for your family. My food storage system is still a work in progress, and I am adding to it as we go. Number one on our pantry essential list has to be canned protein, and for us that means a lot of canned tuna. We are a big fan of tuna. It is such a great source of protein. You can make it into tuna fish casseroles, tuna salads. We really love tuna melts for, a quick weeknight meal or for lunch. Also, canned chicken is a great addition to your pantry. It's really perfect to throw into casseroles or chicken pot pie. You can also find a great deal of protein from canned beans. In our house, we really like canned black beans and pinto beans. You can also buy the large bags of these beans so that you can keep them in storage and prepare them when you need them. Also, for a simple source of protein, peanut butter is a great choice. We are huge fans of peanut butter. I probably eat it every day on crackers or a quick peanut butter sandwich. But it's a very simple source of protein that lasts for a long time, and you can use it in a lot of different ways. To add some nutrition to any casserole that you're going to make, vegetables, of course, is the best choice of all. We have a lot of frozen vegetables currently in our freezer. They are my first choice, but having a backup plan and some canned vegetables is a great idea. Just add a few cans of your favorite veggies. For us, that is always cut green beans. We really love canned corn. I love a nice cold red beet. We even have some olives, black olives there as well. Adding some pickles into the mix gives you a great variety to add to salads and sandwiches. Having a variety of different vegetables can really extend any meal that you make. So adding into that vegetable idea, in our family we use a tremendous amount of tomato products. So I have been really taking some time and stocking up on our most favorite things, a lot of which are imports from Italy, and I just want to make sure I have a few in my pantry so that I can, slowly add them into my Sunday sauce and other meals. So I have a supply of some tomato puree, tomato sauce. Tomato sauce goes in so many different recipes. Tomato puree is a base to a lot of my Sunday sauce and my spaghetti sauces. San Marzano tomatoes is like a staple in an Italian home. These are imports from Italy, and I have a few large cans of these here to serve as backup should I need them. I also have some beautiful rich puree in the bottle here, which is also an import from Italy. This is such a delicious flavor to add to your soups and your sauce. Back here I also have some picante sauce, some Rotel tomatoes, just a variety of things that that I will need for chilies, for soups, for spaghetti, for lasagna, those kinds of things that are a staple in our diet. Rice and pasta are essential to your pantry because they are food extenders. You can add a base of rice to any stew, soup, chili, and it will extend the amount of people that you can feed with that meal. So at any time in our house, we have multitudes of different rice, but I always have the very simple plain white rice, and I always have a backup of brown rice. These rices are great even for a side dish. You add some vegetables and a little protein to these, and you have a main meal, a side dish to anything that you want to make. For me, pasta is a category all on its own. It is a staple in our diet. I probably have 2 large bins just like this full of pasta here in my pantry. I also have a lot of like gnocchi and cavatells in my freezer. It is just a staple, whether it be as a main dish like, you know, your Sunday spaghetti, or a side dish like my veggie orzo. So I have a bunch of different kinds of pasta that I have on hand. I have a bunch of stellina pasta, which is what I use for my chicken soup and my veggie soup. I have some rotini for side dishes, or for, you know, spaghetti and meatballs. This is such a wonderful addition to anybody's pantry because, like I said, it is a food and meal extender. Add a little base of pasta to almost any sauce and you have a meal all on its own. So oils and sauces are essential to your pantry because, you know, oil is just a necessity of cooking, and sauces really do add a lot of variety to whatever you happen to be making. So in my pantry, I have a lot of barbecue sauce. Sweet Baby Ray's is our favorite. I have a few bottles here. Italian dressings are great to have in your pantry because you can use these as a marinade. They're great, of course, for a green salad, but they're also perfect for a pasta salad full of veggies. I always have a couple containers of olive oil on hand and just regular corn oil, and I also have wine vinegar, distilled vinegar, and balsamic vinegar on hand. You can also put condiments into that category as well, with different mustards and ketchups and ranch dressing and mambo sauce. It really does add a lot of variety to your cooking. So even though you might be having the same base food, by changing the sauce, you are changing the whole direction of the meal. So let's talk about fruits. Of course, fresh fruit is the best. Second, I think, is frozen fruit. We always have like frozen blueberries and frozen chopped fruit in our freezer. It is so good to add you know, to yogurt and to oatmeal, but don't sleep on canned fruits because they are really delicious. Like some of our favorites is the canned pears and the canned peaches. If you get them in, you know, 100% fruit, they are really delicious. You can chop them up and put them in Jell-O, which if you have little kids, I'm telling you, Jell-O is just the easiest quick snack to make for them, and you can change it up so easily by adding different fruit to them. Chopped up pears and lime Jell-O has always been my kids' favorite. They will still eat it even though that they are grown-ups. So canned fruit such as cranberries is great to cook with pork or to make cranberry bread. Of course, all of your different preserves and jellies, and even canned pumpkin is so great to have on hand. It is a delicious additive to soups, of course pies, but also pumpkin bread and pumpkin muffins are great to make for, you know, quick breakfasts that you grab as you head out the door. Don't forget about jarred apple sauces. They are great to have on hand, and also raisins are such a great addition to your pantry because you can bake with them, you can cook with them. They are a great additive to almost any food. Grains like oatmeal are really great to have in your pantry. I love Quaker oatmeal. It's one of my favorites. I have all different types here in the pantry. The quick 1-minute oats is great for that early morning oatmeal for breakfast. I bake with this. I add this into breads. It can be like if you're making a meatloaf, you run out of breadcrumbs, you can substitute a little oatmeal in there. It is really a great staple to have in your pantry. As you know, different spices are the best way to add variety to your food. So if you are like me and you have a bunch of different spices that you use all the time, I highly recommend going to a Costco or a Sam's Club and buying the spices that you use all the time in bulk. You can keep them in a container like this in your pantry and just refill those small containers that you use up in your kitchen. Like for us, I cannot go a day without having some type of garlic powder or granulated garlic. I use it every day in every meal. I think that garlic makes everything better, but even those kinds of spices that you use, such as ranch seasoning, taco seasoning, fajita seasoning, if those are things that you use all the time, make sure that you have a backup of them in your pantry, because those are such great quick meals that you can make. You can add so many different vegetables to them. You can make, you know, burritos, tacos. You can make a taco salad with all those same ingredients to add variety to your meals. Baking supplies are absolutely essential. I cannot tell you how quickly a good chocolate chip cookie will turn my day around. So of course we know that we need flour and sugar, but also you might want to add in a little bit extra, like specialty flours. Like for us, it is bread flour. I really like the King Arthur's flour. This is the kind that my mom and my aunts always use for their baking, and their breads were incredible. Of course, you're going to need some baking soda and baking powder, and for those breads you're going to need a couple packets or a jar of active yeast so that you can have it in your cabinet to pull it down if you want to make pizza dough or bread dough or whatever you want to make. So of course white sugar, but you're also going to need some brown sugar as well, especially if you want to do some cookie baking. And don't forget those chocolate chip cookies. They can be used in all kinds of different ways. Sprinkle a few of them in your pancakes, for cookies, add them to banana bread. They are just an essential part of your pantry too. That's way more than 12 essentials, but you get the idea. I think that our pantries really do reflect how we cook, and maybe something that I would carry in mine is not necessarily what you would want to have in yours. So stocking up is really a personal thing. The basic idea though is to try to have a backup of the foods that you use the most, especially when times are a little uncertain. It does give you a sense of comfort and security, knowing that you have what you need at home. So regardless of the size of the pantry that you have, it really is an investment financially, in time and effort, and you want to be sure that you use it to the best of its ability, that you use what you buy and you create meals from what you have on hand at the time. So over the years I have used several different printables to help me keep track of what I have in my pantry and in my freezer, and have helped me meal plan every week for my family. So I've put these printables together for you in my Etsy shop. I've cleaned them up, I've made them pretty, because you know, these are really the tools that I have used throughout the years to track what I have, to create meal plans for my family, and to use up what I have purchased. So I keep it in my home planner that we'll go through, you know, in a different video. But within this packet, I have a monthly meal plan. Several years ago, when all my kids were home and we were running here and there, I would create a monthly meal plan. I would fill out all the recipes that I was going to do throughout the month. It was a great way to add variety to our diet, because you know, when kids don't like the looks of something or they're tired of eating it, they're just not going to eat. And I wanted to make sure that we rotated the meals that I made so that everybody would get a little bit of something that they liked throughout the month. I also have in here a weekly meal plan, and this is what I currently use to plan my weeks. I have our days of the week here. I always fill out some breakfast ideas, whether or not they're like egg sandwiches or bagels or yogurt parfaits, whatever it is. I put some different breakfast ideas here so that I can be sure that I purchase those items at the grocery store. Lunch ideas. Right now our lunch are pretty much leftovers from the dinners that we have had, the night before. And I always like to put snacks down here, whether or not I bake a cake or cookies or, whatever it happens to be. This printable right here is one of my lifesavers. I meal plan every Sunday. I have tried so many different methods. I have gotten so many different meal planning planners, and honestly, this is the one that has stuck the longest. It kind of works the way my brain works. I like to have it all written out so I know exactly what I have on hand and what we are planning for the week. I also have a grocery list here. If I'm trying a new recipe, I like to have my grocery list right there so that I can write down any of the ingredients that I'm going to need to buy that I don't have on hand for the recipe. I have a printable in my home planning book of all like the staples that I always purchase at the grocery store so that I know that, no matter what, we use them up on a weekly basis and I need to replenish them every week. Now there's two inventory lists here. One is for your pantry and one is for your freezer. Now these two pages are really important. It's really important to keep track of what you have in your pantry and the dates on the items that you have in your pantry so that you rotate them. As you buy new, you move the old ones, to the front of the shelf and you put the new stuff in the back. And on here is very simple. It's just you list the items that you have, how many that you have, and then I have by quarter, because I usually go through my pantry every quarter. I go through my freezer probably about the same amount of time so that I know what I have at any given time. So if there's something in my pantry like, that you need all the time, like flour, sugar, if I'm running low, I know that I have to add it to my grocery list to pick up a supply of it to keep on hand. The freezer is also a really important printable because, we all have things at the bottom of our freezer that we have no idea what they are. I think it's really important to label everything that you put in your freezer so that you can keep an inventory of it. This is very simple as well. You just write down the item that you have in your freezer, how many that you have of them, and the use by date for each of those items. It's important to use what you have on hand, what you have open, and this list is basically your pantry, fridge, and freezer and what you need to use up. So if I am meal planning and I know in my refrigerator I have 2 chicken breasts, I might have some ground turkey, I write that in so that when I am planning my meals for the week, I know that I have to plan on a recipe to use up those leftovers in my refrigerator. Also in the freezer, it's good to know when your things are going to expire. So if you have something that has been in there a while, you want to use it up, you can add it to your use up list so that you can plan on it in your meal planning for the week. So I've also added in there my daily sheet. This is something that I put together every couple days so that I know what is on my schedule, what I need to get done that week, the meal plan, what the weather's going to be like, and what my priorities are. I like to set priorities every day so that I know at the end of the day, at least I got those 3 important things done. There's a section in here for daily to-dos. There's a section in here from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. that you can write in and block off time to get a certain project done. Water is very important to me, so I drink water all day long. I like to keep track of how much that I drink. It's good for every part of your life. So it's very important to drink your water every day. It makes you feel better. It makes your body work better. It makes your skin better. It's just the greatest thing. I have a meal plan here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can enter in daily what you are planning to make that day. And you know, weather is important to know. Whether you are running out to the store or your kids have soccer practice, it's a good idea to make note of the weather daily. So this packet is in my Etsy shop under the Pantry and Food Planning Planner. You know, I grew up knowing that food is one of the greatest joys in life and it needs to be respected. It's important to feed your family well, to not allow food to go to waste, and to use what you have. Pantries over the years have been an important part of family life, and I really don't think much has changed. Now, I can talk about pantries for days, so if you have any questions at all, leave them in the comment section down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I'm going to leave a link also for these printables and my Etsy store. I hope these become a useful tool for you in your pantry adventures. So thank you all so much for watching today. Be sure to check the description box down below for any links mentioned in today's video. And while you're there, leave me a comment. Let me know what your essential pantry items are. Join our communities over on Facebook and Instagram at My Bashful Life. And please don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you all back as part of our YouTube family. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have. Be kind to each other. Stay safe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.